I don't know how Solo Leveling just keeps getting better, because episode 1 was incredible. Absolutely loved it. Episode 2, somehow better. Somehow the action was better. The animation was just better. Everything was better. And then now episode 3, it just topped all of it. The story, everything that happened in this episode with the story was insane. And then, of course, it had all the peak action moments we got from episodes 1 and 2. Just the reveals from this episode. I'm going to stay spoiler-free for the first few moments, but the reveals were, I don't know, man. I think at this point that season 2 of Solo Leveling is already doing so good that it can't not be like top 5 anime of the year, at least by the end of the year. Like right now, it's obviously the best thing that's coming out, but by the time like December rolls around and we've gotten the full year of anime, Solo Leveling will still be in the top 5. Just based on these first 3 episodes alone. And at first, I was watching the episode, I was like 4 or 5 minutes in, nothing's really happening because, you know, the Red Gate dungeon just ended. Jinwoo is with Jinho, and they're just kind of like eating food together, talking about the gates, doing some more gates to finish up the little contract they have. And I'm like, this is okay, like it's good stuff, but it's nothing crazy like the last 2 episodes. And then boom, just a switch flipped, and it was just full speed ahead from there. Yeah, it was great. But the episode starts off with Jinho and Jinwoo going on their little raids, you know, nothing crazy, nothing Red Gate level or like A or S rank. I don't even know if they're doing B rank level dungeons, but they're just doing them. And Jinwoo isn't even doing anything anymore. It's just Iron and Egress and Tank and all of his other soldiers that are just wiping up all of the enemies and then mining all of the crystals. Like, Jinho is like, dude, can I at least mine the crystals for you? And as he's saying this, freaking Iron hands him a bunch of crystals and is just like, here you go, man, you can do something with it. I love the personality of Jinwoo's soldiers. They are so fun. Like, Egress doesn't really have any. He's pretty stern. He just kind of like follows around Jinwoo and is like obedient to him. But Iron and all the mages and all the little like foot soldiers and even Tank, the bear, who he gets named Tank later in this episode, they all have so much personality. They're so fun. They're funny, which is weird considering they are like resurrected ghosts who don't speak. And they basically complete the contract between Jinho and Jinwoo, so they can part ways from here on out, and Jinho can go apply to be the guild master for his dad's guild, which he gets kind of rejected, not necessarily, not explicitly, but his dad does say, I want you to go recruit Sung Jinwoo to work for us because I see that he's the reason you're having all of this success, and the White Tiger Guild wants him, so you need to get him on our side permanently. And it's really up until this point that like the episode is a little boring, but then right at this moment, we see a mysterious man. He's like walking out of the water onto like this crashed ship. He's got like rugged hair. You can really only ever see one of his eyes. And he's saying that like he's been trapped. He's been stuck in a gate. And he's talking to these guys who I'm pretty sure are American. They're speaking English because there's clearly a language barrier between the two people. And he's basically saying, I want to go home. Then we cut to seeing this mysterious guy in a prison cell with his, like, he's got handcuffs on, he's at a table, and these 2 guys are talking, and they're like, we don't know who he is. He has some semblance of a name, and I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Sung. S-U-N-G, just like Jinwoo, which at first, I was like, oh, okay, that's just a funny coincidence. That's going to be kind of confusing when I'm talking about the characters in the video. Then we see Jinwoo returning to the S-rank dungeon that he was in season 1, where he fight, I'm pretty sure it's Cerberus, the 3-headed dog that he beats. And in this dungeon are the 3 ingredients for the elixir of life that he can use to save his mom. At this point, he is triple the level he was at the time that he first entered the dungeon, so he's pretty confident he can make at least quite a bit of progress in this dungeon. And sure enough, he does. He fights and kills 10,000 demons on his own, and then he beats 2 of the bosses of this dungeon. He does it with Egress and all of his soldiers and everything, and it is freaking amazing how good it looks. It looks so good. The animation is just so dang good. I don't understand how like a human or a group of humans are capable of making something like this just with artwork. Like even this image here that I have the TV paused on is so beautiful, and you can only see like 60% of the screen and it's not moving, but it's so good. He gets to the point though where he runs out of food. He's been here for several days, so he's had to, sustain himself, and he runs out of food, so he's basically like, okay, I gotta go back. But he reveals that he's made it about 75% of the way through the dungeon, and he's pretty sure there's just one more boss left because he has 2 of the 3 ingredients, and he's gotten like a magical item from the first 2 bosses, and in his little game panel it shows that there's 1 more to get, so he's reasonably assuming there is 1 more boss. Then we cut back to the man with the name Sung, who is, very mysterious, and we learn that Hunter Dong-soo is on his way to go like supervise him, interrogate him basically, because they don't know that this guy isn't a magical beast that has somehow disguised itself as a human, escaped out of a dungeon gate, and is here to wreak havoc. So they're taking all the necessary precautions, which I absolutely agree with. So they're calling in, one of the most powerful hunters in the world, Dong-soo, to come figure out what's going on. Dong-soo gets there, the 2 of them are talking, they're very clearly butting heads, they're very clearly very powerful, both of them. But when Dong-soo reads his name and he notices it, he says, "Do you have like a wife and kids?" And the guy says, "I have a wife and 2 children." And Dong-soo goes, "What's your son's name?" And he goes, "Sung Jin-woo." And it's his dad. It's Sung Jin-woo's freaking dad. Jin-woo's dad has been stuck in a gate for several years, just who knows, just gone. He's just been gone. He's been stuck in this gate, and now he's here. And of course, as soon as Dong-soo finds this out, he's like, "Oh, your son's dead. You might as well die now so you can go join him." Which of course Sung Jin-woo isn't actually dead. He's being largely figurative, saying he's dead because of my want to kill him, so he will die. And we see both of them kind of powering up and charging up, and then it cuts, and then pretty much not the whole city, but a large portion of the city is just on fire, in ruins. And we see the 2 guys who were talking about Jin-woo's dad. The 2 guys that were talking about Jin-woo's dad are basically saying it's incredible how powerful S-rank hunters are when they fight. And they were saying I knew it would be bad, but I didn't know it would be this bad. And the fact that it happened so quickly is ridiculous. Dong-soo was defeated. And then we see Hunter Dong-soo, an S-rank, one of the most powerful hunters in the world. And he's just sitting there slain, and Jin-woo's dad is nowhere to be found. And if that isn't insane, I don't know what is. I honestly feel like I'm missing out on one of the most important things that happened in this episode, but I was just floored. I mean, I know I said the first few minutes were a little boring, not even boring, they just weren't quite as insane and intense as the first 2 episodes were, but after that, dude, it was just crazy. And the fact that the story is now moving rapidly. Dong-soo's out of the way, as far as we know. I don't think it confirmed if he was dead or not, but he's probably not going to be messing with Jin-woo anymore. If he does, he's definitely going to be screwed, because Jin-woo is obviously only getting stronger, and his dad is currently stronger than Jin-woo. As I think we're pretty confident in saying that. So this is just insane. Yeah, we have 8 or 9 more episodes of this, or 9 or 10 more episodes of this. And I can't believe it. We're so blessed to have this. So once again, Solo Leveling just comes out with a banger episode. They are pulling none of the stops. They are just going crazy. And I mean, it's if they've kept up this momentum for 3 episodes, they're not going to lose it in the next few. It's only going to get better. So yeah, man, I can't believe it. I mean, we've got Jin-woo is leveling up significantly. He's getting more soldiers. His dad is now here. Jin-ho is making progress with his dad, and Dong-soo's out of the way. Hunter Beck is still running around. We got to see his transformation eventually. So much has happened, and so much more will happen. I can just feel it. Once again, I haven't read the manhwa, so I don't actually know what happens in the story, but there's no way that it doesn't go up to 1,000,000% insanity in the next few episodes. So yeah, that's my review and recap of Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 3. Somehow even better than episodes 1 and 2. I think I might rewatch that episode. It was so good, and I just watched it 10 minutes ago. So yeah, but yeah, I am just speechless. I was planning on saying a lot more words. When I was watching the episode, I was like, man, this video is going to be so long. I have so much to talk about. But at this point, now that I'm actually doing it, I'm just speechless. I don't know what to say. It was just so dang good. So yeah, go watch this episode if you haven't already. It's shocking. Let me know what you think of Solo Leveling so far. And also, just a quick sidebar. I said this in my Sakamoto Days review, but since TikTok is most likely going to be banned for the foreseeable future, at least for a few days, that's been my main source of income. Now I'm going to be putting in a lot more attention into YouTube. So if you're here, make sure you subscribe to see how much better my content gets. I can't wait for this. I absolutely love making the YouTube videos. The TikToks I've been kind of getting a little bored of, so I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you guys are watching. The fact that you watched all the way till the end of the video really makes a difference for my performance. So thank you so much. I truly do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to watch my little video talking about an anime. It means a lot. I love you. Go change the world, because I know you're capable of it, and I'll see you in the next one.